You hear about it all the time, right? These huge, world-changing trends like artificial intelligence, clean energy, genetic engineering. But how do you actually invest in an idea? Well, today, we're going to dive into a pretty cool tool designed to help you do exactly that.
Think about it. Let's say you're completely convinced that AI is the future. Awesome. But what do you buy? The chip makers, the software companies, the companies that build the robots? It's this massive universe, and trying to pick the one or two big winners is, well, it's tough. Same thing goes for a huge concept like clean energy. So how can you invest in the whole trend itself without having to be a stock-picking genius?
And that question leads us right to the solution. There's an investment vehicle out there that was specifically designed to let you put your money behind a whole transformative story, not just a single company. And here it is. It's called a thematic ETF. Now, what does that really mean? It's all about investing in a megatrend. So instead of just focusing on one specific industry, it targets a big disruptive idea that actually cuts across many different industries. Things like the massive shift of an aging global population or the world moving to a completely digital economy.
And this is the key difference, so it's really important to get this. A traditional tech sector fund just buys tech stocks. Simple. But a robotics theme fund, oh, that's different. It might own an industrial company that's building the robot arms, a software company writing the code for those arms, and a healthcare company that's using those robots in surgery. See, it follows the idea wherever it leads, not the old-school industry label.
So once that clicks, a whole new world of investing possibilities really opens up. Let's take a look at some of the major themes that you can actually invest in right now. The range here is just incredible. You can invest in cybersecurity, the future of genomics, the global shift to e-commerce, or the massive build-out of 5G and electric vehicle infrastructure. Every single one of these is a bet on a powerful long-term story about where our world is heading.
But, okay, let's pump the brakes for a second. With all that potential for high growth, there's always a flip side. This is not a free lunch, and it is absolutely crucial to understand the downsides before you get swept away by an exciting story.
The very first thing you need to know is that putting together these highly specialized niche portfolios, well, it takes more work for the fund managers. And guess what? That extra work translates directly into a higher price tag for you, the investor. We're talking about something called the expense ratio. That's what you pay the fund manager every single year. Now, a super basic S&P 500 fund might cost you less than 0.10%. But these thematic funds, they often run between 0.5% and 0.75%. That might not sound like a huge difference, but trust me, over decades, that can seriously eat into your total returns. So let's quickly run through these risks. First, there's concentration risk. That just means you've got fewer eggs in your basket. So if one or two of those companies tank, it's going to hurt a lot more. Then you have thematic risk. This is the big one. It's the chance that the story you're betting on, maybe it's drone delivery, just fizzles out, or maybe it takes way longer to happen than anyone thought. Then there's higher volatility, which means you better buckle up for a much bumpier ride with bigger price swings. And of course, those higher costs we just talked about, which act like a constant little drag on your investment's performance. So after all that, the exciting potential and the serious risks, what's the verdict? How should an investor actually use these funds in a smart long-term strategy? The best way to think about this is like a solar system. Your core portfolio, that's the sun. It should be big, stable, and diversified, like a broad market fund. Thematic ETFs, they're the satellites. They're smaller positions that orbit around that core, letting you make these targeted bets on the ideas you really believe in, but without risking your entire financial universe. So here's a really simple framework for using them wisely. Step 1, and don't skip this, build your foundation with a solid, diversified core. Step 2, find a long-term theme you truly understand and believe in for the long haul. Step 3, allocate only a small slice of your portfolio to it. We're talking a satellite position, remember? And step 4, please do your homework. Look under the hood of that ETF, see what companies it actually owns, and know exactly what fees you're going to be paying. So, at the end of the day, it all boils down to a question that only you can answer. Investing in a theme is really an investment in your own conviction about the future. So the real question is, which future do you believe in most? And just how much risk are you willing to take for a chance to be a part of it?